Check out this insane stretch 5 build for Wreck or Pro in NBA 2K25. This could even be used for Park, depending on your play style, but make sure to stay to the end because there's cap breaker information that will make this build really OP. So we're going to go center, we're going to go 7 foot, we're going to go 261 with a 7-foot wingspan, and this build is really, again, the stretch big build, so we're really going to focus on that, but there's a few little tweaks to the build that you can make, but in general, I really like how this build came out, and I think in the right hands, this build could be really OP. So we're going to start with our physicals here. We're going to go with a 64 speed. We're going to go max your agility at 53. Your strength's going to be a 91. Your vertical is going to be a 66. And so with your physicals, vertical I would like to get a little higher, but this is just the thresholds to hit some of the other areas of the build. Strength's 91 big. I wanted a gold brick wall for this build. You're a center at the end of the day, setting screens. So if you're spotting up and not really setting a lot of screens, you could lower strength, but again, you got to guard other players. Strength is going to matter in general. Agility is tied to your defensive movement, so make sure your agility is at least as high as it can get, depending on your build, but so you can move around quicker. 64 speed, not too bad. We are 261 pounds. This is faster than most of like your 7-1s, maybe a little slower than other like lighter 7-footers, but you'll see kind of why we had to go to the strength route with this build in order to get our rebounding to a certain amount. If you had low weight, your rebound wasn't going to be high enough. So with that, we'll go to finishing. We're going to go with an 86 close shot. We're going to go 40 driving layup. We're going to go 60 driving dunk. We're going to go 90 stand dunk. Post control, we're actually going to go to a 79. So close shot at 86, you do get only silver paint prodigy. It's as good as you could get it. You could tweak other areas, but based on what I'm seeing, you just need to get that dunk animation. This is going to help you pump fake and finish like that, but nothing insane. Driving dunk, ideally it could be a little better, but you could get aerial wizard up if you move your vertical up, if you can maneuver some things, maybe lower free throw when we get to that point. But driving dunk at 60, you will unlock some driving dunk animation, so if you're open, you should be able to do it. 90 stand dunk, I wanted to get to gold rise up. I think this is going to be probably your main way to finish in the paint, is getting that standing contact dunk without the meter, I think, this year, but we'll see. So gold rise up was my goal here. And then as a little plus, since you are a stretch, you're going to have a high midi, which we'll get to with the shooting. We went the 79 post control, and we'll talk about the midi, and we'll come back to post control and tell you kind of what I was thinking here. So we'll go to your shooting mid-range. We're going to go to a 91. Shooting or 3-point, we're going to go to an 85, and then your free throw, we're going to go 77. Now this might be overkill with the mid-range, and I would agree, but this is where your +1 of your 5 cap breakers is going to be used to take your mid-range from a 91 to a 92. As you can see, you unlock gold Deadeye, and so that was my thought process with this, is we actually get gold post fade, we get gold set shot specialist, and then you're going to get gold Deadeye, and combine that now with your post control, you're actually kind of a post scorer also while being a stretch big. So you'll be able to post fade, maybe that Deadeye will kick in, nobody's going to get a contest on any of your fades, but you're also still not really like a post scorer, but you do get pretty decent post scoring stuff here, even a bronze unpluckable, so you might not get ripped as much. So in general, in the right hands, I think this build could be absolutely insane. We'll go to passing. Now, this area, I would like to get to a little higher, but we couldn't. We're going to go an 87, which could be pretty good. You could get away with this. I think I would ideally like to have this Hall of Fame break starter for Rec and Pro-Am, but based on the other areas that we can get, I think gold break starter you can make viable. We'll see kind of as the game goes on. There hasn't been too many like Pro-Am or like high level rec games that I've seen where, you know, break starter is like 100% needed. So we'll see how that goes, but 87 pass accuracy still insanely good. You do get that bronze bailout, so if you do end up taking a bad shot, you can use that, pass it, you know, pretty accurately. Not going to touch any of the other playmaking stuff here. Now we're going to go to defense, and now you're thinking, okay, we have good finishing, we have good shooting, the defense must be pretty bad. Actually, it's not that bad. So we're going to go 77 interior, we're going to go 62 perimeter, we're going to go 60 steal, and we're going to go 93 block. So with defense, there are areas you could adjust. If you don't want gold paint patroller, you could definitely change that. I wanted to get the threshold to get gold paint patroller, but you know, of course, if you feel like silver is good enough, you could drop that, add in other areas. Perimeter defense is also the same thing. I hit the 62 threshold just to get immovable enforcer bronze. I just think more badges the better with this build. But again, this is an area you could lower. I do suggest putting perimeter defense on. It's the only way you're going to get like good contests. So if you feel like that's an area you don't struggle with, then definitely drop this, add it in other areas. Steel is a must at 60. You need to get the bronze interceptor. You could even go higher if you wanted to. It only goes up to 62 with this build, but you have to have bronze interceptor. Do not make any build in this game for sure without interceptor. Every single build is going to get it. Point guards are out there with 91 steel and things like that. So make sure you have steel. And then again with the block, we're going to get pogo stick bronze. We're going to get high flying denier bronze. So you could get this higher again if you go really attack that vertical. And as you being a center, it could be definitely an area that you want to improve on. In general, I think you'll do just fine if you box out and put yourself in good positioning, but could be an area to really look out for this build. That could be the weak point, and maybe adjustments are needed. Maybe overkill in the mid-range, maybe overkill in the post control. You could adjust it and shift it down. So now we'll go to rebounding. So with this build and most center builds, what I always say is high offensive rebound is what you should go with. So we're going to go 92 offensive rebound, and this is where we're going to use your other 4 cap breakers when you get to that, to get this to a Hall of Fame rebound chaser. So you unlock Hall of Fame rebound chaser at 96. So use your +1 in mid-range to unlock the gold Deadeye. Use your +4 here in offensive rebound to get your Hall of Fame rebound chaser. So those two go hand in hand with this build, because you definitely need to have a good rebound chaser with having such low vertical, and even defensive rebound is low. And again, if you're a center that doesn't see the value of the offensive rebound, you could easily switch to this. How I look at this, there's 2 ways. If you're just going to stand in the corner and not really like go down in the paint too often for offensive rebounds, then for sure flip this. Now, if you're a center that's going to play kind of both sides of the game, you're going to slip down, you have a point guard, that kind of situation, I think high offensive rebound is better, because you're going to get your team more possessions and like more extra possessions. Now in defense, you could be pretty liable, and of course if you're playing solo rec, maybe having high defensive rebound is better. So again, tailor the rebounding to like what you think is best. I do think if you flip it, it keeps it the exact same. We can check here. Yeah, you could actually use more points if you just go defensive rebound. So you can actually have no offensive rebound, still reach it, and now you have even more points to use. But clearly the game is, I think, just kind of showing you that you need high offensive rebound, or it's more valuable just based on the point system as well. So I suggest always go high offensive rebound, like I said, and defensive rebound if you can make better. But again, if you flipped it, clearly the build could be made a little better just based on the extra attributes. So let me know what you would tune on this build in the comments, just based on your playstyle, just to get different ideas of what this build could be. So with that, we'll see the name, the shades of, and then get a good idea. So we have Jack Sigma, Joel Embiid, Jusuf Nurkic, and the build going to be called a playmaking stretch 5. And that'll do it for this video. I have a lot of other rec and pro-am builds on my channel covering every single position. So if you're going in there by yourself, you want to switch things up, or if you have a team, I suggest checking those out. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.